Hi folks, IB Sarah Rochelle and welcome back to IB Playing Yooka-Laylee. In the last one, we started this world and I forgot how much I like the music in this. Like, as soon as the song started up, I'm like, oh yeah, this is fun. Oh yeah, I have to do the fly. And yeah. And then I warp. Okay, this is loud. Why does it seem like the music is louder in this area? I don't know. But yeah, we're here. This is gonna be fun. I already got the move. Did I get the move? What are my moves? Show me your moves. Body slam, slurp, state, lizard leap, sonar shield. What's this one? Oh, this one on Y, I think. Because it's this and this? No. Okay. What's the... Ah, that's the invisible one. Okay, stop being invisible. Thank you. Can I go in this door? It seems suspicious. But, did I say ukulele? I'd be playing the door locked. Okay, find another way. Cool. But yeah, we're back here. I remember complaining about... I literally, until like about an hour ago, could not remember what I was doing in this game. Because, and then I remember, all of a sudden I'm like, huh. Because little sensor wear items are near more ammo, hold your breath longer, no damage when falling from great heights, or roll uses less power. This might be nice, but I'm not going to. Because I want to explore a little bit. Okay, there you are. Okay. So that's right, that stuff hurts me. What's under here? Nothing. There should be something under here. That's how these games work. There's always something under there. What's my dash move? No, it's stop. This is not what I want to be doing. I have a roll. Nope, that's not it. This one. Listen, trying to figure out what the buttons controls are anymore. I have no idea. I just lunar lockup. Hello. Yay, I got that guy. That was it. I feel like I need to have everything going on right now. How can I talk to you? How do you do? Okay, you look interesting. Oh, okay, so I do need that. So they give me a little bit of everything here. And I have to now figure out which is what. Okay. Okay, there we go. Let's get that again. So yeah, it's been, I remember complaining, and I know I complain a lot about this game, but a lot of times I feel like they're legitimate. Oh, I knew what I was going to talk about this one, and I wish I'd looked it up. But the other day, Grant Kirkhope tweeted, who did the music for this game, he tweeted something about, I don't remember, he's like, people need to remember something along the lines that people need to remember that this game was done by, at its core, it was an indie game, because it was only done by like a small team and everything. And I have a little bit of issue with that, and I don't think he's wrong in saying that, because it's a new developer, it's the first game they released, so it's a smaller team. I don't think that was an... What's this? What does this do for me? I don't know what that does for me. I probably should know. But, like, he's not wrong. Like, that wasn't an incorrect statement of things. It was... Because it's true. It's technically an indie developer. My problem that I had with it, though, is that though it is an indie, like, team, it's people that have been around in the industry for a lot longer. So, oh gosh, I had a great... So, like, I understand why people were more critical of, let's say, this game as compared to A Hat in Time. I do not remember, and I wish I remembered off the top of my head, but I don't remember if this had a beta or if it was just the toy box. Because if it was just the toy box, one of the problems I had is, like, A Hat in Time was delayed a lot. Like, they're like, we're gonna give you the beta and we'll tell you that when the alpha and beta are, but... like, we're delayed a lot because they spent the time to, like, get all the feedback and everything, and I really enjoy A Hat in Time. I think it was very well done, and considering it's that team's first game, like, they hadn't done it before, they did a good job. I appreciate it. And I really enjoy playing it, and the camera controls are great, and, like, there's a couple controls that it took a little getting used to, but nothing so much that, like, once I knew what the controls were, they were intuitive and I came back to them every time. But, like, this one, the swimming controls are weird, but there are just some weird complaints that A Hat in Time just had a big update, but I haven't, played it recently enough to know what the update was. But I know it just had a big update. But, like, Yooka-Laylee, they got a whole bunch of complaints initially that they had to release a fairly big update to kind of fix some things. And a lot of people's complaints were that it was crashing soon within the game. Oh, this is where the electricity is needed. Aha! Okay, so it's electric. And so, okay, I see what it is. I see what combo I need. These guys. I don't know how long my electric will work, but let's see. I like this puzzle a lot. Okay, I think I just squished myself in the gate there. Is that a possibility? Because I think I just did it. Oh, good, no. Yeah! I got the pagey. But I will try and maybe link to the tweet to let you see what you think. I think I needed like 15 to upgrade to the next thing, so I need a long ways to go in this world. But there's a big difference, and a lot of, maybe there are, I don't know a lot about the entire indie game community, but usually an indie developer seems like they make a smaller game that doesn't have all the big production, not necessarily big production value, but they made a game that they wanted to make for fun and released it to the world. And it, either a lot of people like it or a few enough people, when I say few enough, but like, what do here? Nope. This one. Nope. That's not it either. Huh. I'm not sure what to do here. But like a company wanted to make a game that they thought would be fun, so they did it and they made it, and like it gets reviews and stuff. And if a lot of times these games are like, hey, this premise seems really cool. There aren't a lot of games like this, so maybe why don't we try and do it? I think Secret Ponchos is one that's kind of a mix of like the different MOBAs and stuff. I watched a stream with Proton John streamed with some of the developers because it was on Steam Early Access, I think. I don't remember. It was when I watched it. It was a few years ago. But it was one of those ones that like... Do I need fire? I don't remember what I need here. I just slid forward a little bit. That's worrisome. But like, it was done by a team that's what they want. They were developers. I don't know if they were new to the industry or what, but they were just like, huh, we want to make this game. This seems like a cool idea. And so they made a game. That's what they did. The thing with certain things though is with Platonic games, if you advertise and explicitly state, there's the phrase I was going for, that you have been in the industry for years and worked on other like more AAA type titles, you don't get to like, you are going to be judged at a higher standard because you've been there, done that. It's like you've been at a point where you were being judged at a higher standard. Yes, I understand that you left that company and are now working for your own selves because that's what you wanted to do. How do these things break? These probably break when I expand the world, in all honesty. So let's just try this again. I hear you, Ghosty. Let's try the fly. Will fly work for me? Ha! Okay. There we go. Cool. That was more how to get you? I need fire or something. Oh, I never tried to do that to these things. Nope. Okay, then. But that's one of the things, is like, you have the years of experience in the game development world to try and, like, it's not try, but, like, to have known, like, what works and what doesn't. Like, oh, I forgot how much I didn't like it. So you know what works and what doesn't. You made games before in popular games, like, but the times, like, controls and graphics and everything have greatly improved. Not just graphics, controls. So you should be able to make a game that doesn't rely on bad controls. But my best, I guess I was a little frustrated because I think the more critical judgments of Yooka-Laylee over, like, let's say A Hat in Time are deserved because those developers have been in the industry for a longer time. Like, they have that experience of, hey, this works and this doesn't work, or like, hey, these are things that we were complained about, you know, maybe in some of the other games we worked on, so let's try and maybe fix it for this game. Oh, please stop flying for now. I just wanted to get these close and I didn't want to fly off. So why don't we try and maybe make it better than the old games and not just look like and feel like the old games just because people wanted to do that. Because, first of all, I think part of the criticism is acceptable, especially because the old games have a nostalgia attached to them, which makes anybody want to come and play a bad game over and over again. Like, I really enjoy Epic Mickey. The controls for, like, camera controls are, like, terrible at some points. They're not the worst, but they are really not great at sometimes. And they could be much better, which they were improved by the second game. But, like, this is a game that only applies to a very specific audience, and that's an audience that wants to play that. I'm gonna have to fly because I don't want to go all the way around, especially if I'm gonna, oh my gosh, the camera controls here are terrible. The flying with the camera controls are really bad, like almost Kingdom Hearts bad for camera controls. Once again, that's an older game. Like, I mean, PS2 Kingdom Hearts. I've played that a little bit recently. So, I understand why people are critiquing this maybe over much more than A Hat in Time, because the other thing is, A Hat in Time had an open beta for, like, the entirety of the game. If you bought the beta, you got to play the game and everything. Like, so they had this, and they saw what worked and what didn't work. Aw, that's sad. That hurt me. And people told them what worked and what didn't work, and they just had an update too, but I don't think it was necessarily to fix gameplay controls. It was just because, you know, maybe it was to maybe release content that they had promised. I don't remember exactly. Okay, that was not the series of buttons that I wanted, but, you know, that works. So I get it. I get that why they're being Yooka-Laylee probably received a little more harsher critiques, even though they're an indie developer. It's like, here, let me give a better example. I have not watched any of Kitchen Nightmares or MasterChef or MasterChef Junior, but there are Tumblr posts all the time describing like the difference between them. And so I need my roll for as long as possible. I guess we'll just go this way. Okay, there we go. Wait, there's nothing else here. Is there anything else even in this world for me to do? There's something I'm not getting with those things. Clearly, there's something I'm not getting with those things. Here we go. Gosh, this camera is bad! Where am I? There we go. Like, this camera is just so terrible. There's gotta be something else I can do. Is this it? No, I know there's more to this world. It's just, I don't know what to do with those orbs. I don't know how to deal with them. Shield? Shield? I don't know. I can't believe that worked. Let's talk to you. Because there's clearly stuff going on with these things. Maybe it's... Yeah, I haven't got the molecule yet. Did I? Oh, no, I did! I did, didn't I? Oops. Did I? Yep, I did. Okay, well, we'll do that while I talk. But the best analogy is all indie developers are chefs. Because MasterChef Junior is kids that are aspiring chefs. So, like, you know, newer indie developers that it's their first game. It's their first foray into the, world of game development. And then... Oh, it's a ship. Use L to sail and A to boost. Careful with X, Y, and B though they trigger your weapons. Okay, so guess what we're gonna hit first? X. Y. Okay. And B. Mm-hmm. I knew there was something going on. Y. Nope. Okay. This is gonna take me forever. Nope. Icy freezes. Ah! Okay, this is kind of cool. I like this so far. So far. I'll probably get upset at it at some point, but I like the- I actually want a little figurine of Yooka and Laylee ship, because I think it's kind of cool. No jump. Okay. So those are that. Platonic Games is made up of a whole bunch of developers who, you know, have been in the industry for a while. When you put that on your website of, hey, you should buy this game because look at how long we've been in the industry and look at what other games we worked on, yeah, you don't get to say, okay, but there's only one piece of you. Can I get that now before I forget A? A is boost. A is boost. I want to get that now before I forget. I like this little ship. Okay, this is pretty fun. I like it a lot. But that's the thing is like you advertised yourselves as having been in the industry of the year. So you're the adults, as the post on Tumblr goes. No. I don't want to transform. As the post on Tumblr goes, that have the experience. And the reason Gordon Ramsay, this post is a great analogy for it, but Gordon Ramsay is a lot better and nicer with kids because they don't have the years of experience. They're still in a learning process, so they need a little more, not necessarily more encouragement, but a different approach because they are still learning. It's their first time with good, and even though they're very, 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 very good, they don't need to be that good yet. And then you have the adults in Kitchen Nightmares that they are supposed to know what they're doing. I wish I could find this post, but I won't. But if you Google Tumblr and like, it's there. They know what they're doing because they have the years of experience. They know what's right and wrong. They know not to serve a piece of raw meat to people, and they know what a piece of raw meat looks like. So you don't serve raw chicken, let's say. So that's the difference with the critiques of Yooka-Laylee versus that. Is Yooka-Laylee are the adults. They're the people in Kitchen Nightmares that have the experience and years of experience behind it. So they know what a raw piece of chicken looks like and should not serve it. And that's what I think a lot of the complaints about the game were, is that it was just underdeveloped. There's things that were just bad development decisions. So maybe your 20 years of experience, and the reason people complained about your game back in the era of like, I need to read that again, please, because I wasn't reading it. Oh, okay. I need to expand the world for that. Cool. I need about 10 more pages first. But maybe the fact that people didn't like certain aspects of your game back then and still don't like them now is because you continuously make bad development decisions. So maybe that's on you and not the critiques. It's like, if I've been playing a lot of Overwatch recently, and Overwatch is a teen thing. If I am playing Mercy poorly and somebody asks me to switch because they will do it, I will. I have the most time on Mercy. I have some time, the next most time I have is on Diva, and then it's Rain and Lucio. I understand that even though I have the most time on Mercy, sometimes I don't play well and people are just playing better that game, and you switch. You hear the critiques and you switch it up. Or you try something new to try and fix it. You don't continuously make the same bad decisions. Or bad design choices. So I'm thinking, yeah, so I agree with Grant Kirkhope that yes, they were indie developers. But I disagree on the reasoning. It was an indie company. I'm not going to say indie developers, but that it was an indie company. And I agree with that statement. I disagree. I agree, but I agree with all the extra critique that they got and the harsher critique they got because they should know better. Because they may be indie developers, but they've been in the industry for a lot longer. They should know better. Okay, so how am I supposed to get there? There's gotta be a button for me to press. Ah, because I could just... That's not the right button, this one. How far does it go? Yeah, it goes far enough. Okay. Let's go a little bit faster because the regular speed. So, I agree and disagree with what Grant Kirkhope said, and mostly because they deserve to have more criticisms as they've been there, done that. Yeah! I know it is. So, yeah. I enjoy Yooka-Laylee a lot. I've never played any of their games. Well, I've played a little DK64. But I never played Banjo-Kazooie, which is, from what I've seen, because I have seen a lot of Banjo-Kazooie though, it's the one that's the most similar. I can't reach it. How to do. Oops. Ah, that's the way to get it. There's nothing else here, right? I could transform back into whatever it's called. But like, when I complain about the camera controls for the flight, they're pretty bad. As soon as I fly, all of a sudden my camera's locked, and for me to adjust it, I have to try and both fly and adjust the camera, and it's working against me. That's not fun. But that's the thing, is like, A Hat in Time went through a huge beta alpha phase where everybody could, like, the people who bought that tier could play the game, and they took the feedback. And I played the toy box review where it says, hey, what do you think of this? And give us feedback. But there wasn't nearly enough of the game mechanics in the game that are actually in the game, that are actually used in the game often enough for enough feedback to be given until the full release of the game. Which is another reason why, let's say, you know, maybe they got a lot more critiques. Well, you didn't have the options before the game released to give those critiques. Like, there wasn't a beta. There might have been a beta, but the only thing in the toy box was probably the most basic of these are these controls. Like, these are the controls we're getting and everything. And that's... Oh... I need to be a ship. Let's just fly. Like, stop moving the camera like that when I fly up. I just need to go up a little bit. I don't want the camera to move too. It's so hard to see my location. Okay. But, like, there's a difference there. Like, so with A Hat in Time, I know there's some things they changed from the beta to the final release. But they had constant feedback on the parts of the game to see what people liked about it and to see what people didn't. This one, all I know is that we had the Toy Box and the Toy Box Plus, which no, I don't want to transform. Beep, 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 beep. I wanted to go faster. That the Toy Box didn't have nearly the same game mechanics or gameplay or anything that... not nearly the same, but nearly the amount of them. So they only got feedback on such a small portion of their game that, like, it wasn't enough. It wasn't enough for them to get enough, it just wasn't enough for the people that, like, played the game to see and experience what the full game would be like, to be like, hey, you know, this actually doesn't work. Like, but the thing is, even in the beta, the toy box, I thought the swim controls were bad. I'm pretty sure it's the exact same, and I thought that then too. So, just to, as a reminder, I'm gonna go swim around the sea just because I can. Like, there's just an ocean of nothingness. I'm gonna have to expand this world. I'm gonna actually have to backtrack to expand this world. There is literally not enough here for me to get the expansion. I kind of don't like that. I think that's odd, especially when all the other worlds gave me enough that I could kind of just expand it beforehand. Like, I could have, except for the first world, I could have expanded it then. So, I guess I'm backtracking in the next episode, but I'm not done talking yet, so when I can, maybe I'll start backtracking. The loading screens are killer in this game, though. They're really bad. They're just really long. I mean, they're like that, though, in, Mario and Rabbids, too. The loading screens are long, which is why I try and avoid them whenever I record for those. Same here a lot of times. But, that's the, like, this world has to be oh, no. I know what I could do. Ah, I remembered. There's just... I had mixed feelings when Grant Kirkhope tweeted that. Because, yes, the company is an indie developing company. But the people there have been making big games, made big games, have been doing it for 20 or so years. You don't get to say, hey, we're an indie company now. Some of the people on the team may have been. Like, it may have been their first time in the industry. So yes, that's why it's an indie company, but a lot of that team when they first started it were people that had done it for years. So don't rush your release. I guess that's the other thing, is it just seems like the game was developed too quickly and not enough user feedback given for the early stages. Like, they released their Kickstarter was almost a year or so. I don't know for certain, but it was after the A Hat in Time Kickstarter, and it released before A Hat in Time. Like, not much before A Hat in Time, but like it was announced the release date a lot sooner. So like, I feel like this development, like they probably had a majority of their game, but from what it looked like the development was rushed. Whereas in A Hat in Time, they're like, oh, we got so much that we could do so much more. So our initial release date on our Kickstarter is totally incorrect because we're going to work on it longer to put more into it. It's like there's just a different mentality that went into it. And it's kind of almost like there's that different not EA, but like the Microsoft mentality was there because Microsoft, oh, I didn't want to leave. Ugh, okay, oh well. Microsoft, it's like when they announced their Xbox One and they had all the rumors about people, what was going to happen, and people were like, these are bad ideas. They announced the Xbox One with all the stuff people had said were bad ideas, like always being online and not having digital codes so you don't actually own a game and it wouldn't actually make sense to buy anything. I guess I could shield. That makes me invulnerable, right? Oh, I missed the shield. Okay, that's instant death. Good to know. But like, and then a week later they're like, oh, yeah, so we heard your concerns and backtracked, which is good on their part that they actually, you know, backtracked because, you know, a lot of times companies won't. So good on them. I'm trying to save it for as long as possible. Oh, darn, well, how about that? Please. Okay, there is a way to get back up. Good job. I want to explore this now. Because there's totally something else around here. So they backtracked, which is good, you know, because a lot of times companies would just leave it be. Oh no, there's only one side. Okay, got it. Got it. I'm fine. But people talked about it beforehand and so I don't know, I understand that your presentation is prepped and everything, but and nothing was officially announced, but it's been rumored and you could at least be like, okay, so maybe we shouldn't do these things because the people have just think they're bad ideas. Like, you just don't do them because people have stated that, hey, maybe this is a bad idea. Like, yeah, the Microsoft thing was kind of funny. They're like, oh, I guess you're not gonna do it because you guys said it was a bad idea. It's like, yeah, but we said that it was a bad idea before, but I get that it wasn't officially announced. But that's the thing with A Hat in Time, is it's that same mentality went into, not A Hat in Time, a Yooka-Laylee. It's that same mentality of like, they had the things from past games that people didn't like. The games have been out for 20 or 30 years. 20 years, probably. So, like, it's not like the games haven't been out. Okay, I need to not die here. Thank you. So it's like the stuff that people complained about there. It's not like... Oh, there you go. It's not like they didn't have the info of like, hey, this is a bad way to do camera controls, or hey, this doesn't work here. Like, they've had the info from past games. Like, you have all of gaming history to know what doesn't make a good game and what does make a good game, or like what doesn't make... something viable. Oh, did not want to do that yet. But, like, you have that knowledge already of what people do and do not like in games. I'm facing the wrong way, and I know that. Okay, well, made it accidentally. Huh. Yeah, that was an accident. Cool, that's fine. Oh, that's where the energy upgrade is that I still haven't gotten for the thingy. Well, that's nice. All that stuff's off now. Good. Yeah, what do I have to do? Like... Do. Okay. That was the weirdest thing. Gosh. I also didn't read that last part, but I have a feeling it was probably pretty good in a reference to self-reference and seeing stuff. Okay, I got myself stuck in a groove. Oh, I know how I could ride this. Okay, again with the groove. How do I keep sliding through the crack? Yeah, an energy upgrade. Huh, let's see. So yeah, I find it weird. I find it weird that, like, this game is fun. I do recommend playing it because it is a fun game, and after, oh my gosh, camera, really. Issues like that shouldn't be happening, but you have your years of experience. You have everything that you've made before and every game that's come out before that you could be learning from of what not to do. But instead, you still chose to make bad camera controls. And you've been around for a while. And I guess a reason you got a lot of critique is you have been around for a while. And these camera controls are still in the game. And you have all this history, and you keep doing the same thing. And stuff has really changed since then. Then you've got a lot better technology. So maybe it's not the fact that, like, you're not on a major company thing that you used to work for. Maybe it's the fact that you guys just don't make good development decisions sometimes. Consistently. Like, there is that. Also, there's nothing more to do in this world. I don't know. So yes, Platonic Games, I agree, is an indie developer. But I would like to go in. Can I still not go in yet? But some of their team, as advertised on their website when the game was announced, have been around for years in the industry. So yeah, you get held to a higher standard. And no, that's not odd. It's logical for the fact that you guys have been around in the industry for longer than some other people. Yeah. Yeah, so, Grant Kirkhope did the music on this game. Good job, dude. I like the music. Like, this area, I forgot how much I like the music in this area because I completely forgot this is where it was last week until I booted into this level. I'm like, oh yeah, this music is so cool. Like, I enjoyed the music. I think the game is fun, but I think there's just a lot of issues with how the game controls, and the most I've had ever with game issues of games that I've played recently, so like A Hat in Time, Ever Oasis, Overwatch, a whole bunch of games that I've played recently. I've also played Kingdom Hearts recently on the PS2, like the PS2 version of Kingdom Hearts. Man, there's some bad, like just how the menu works in battle and how the camera moves is not good. Like, you could have learned from that. I guess my entire point is, you should know better. You're the ones with 20 plus years of experience. You should know what works and doesn't work. I be Sarah Rochelle. I've been playing Yooka-Laylee. I want to know your guys' thoughts on the game. I keep putting the little addendum in my description saying please don't give me spoilers, because I still don't want spoilers, even though this game has been out for like a few months now. But like, I want to know what your thoughts on the game are. Is all the critiques that do exist, or the praise that's been given to the game, is that viable? Do you agree? Do you disagree? Like, please, let me know. I want to know your thoughts. I want to know whether you think Yooka-Laylee belongs in the year 2017, or if it belongs maybe in the year, I don't know, 2006? Like, I want to know. I want to know whether you think the team should be critiqued more than a regular indie developer, or if the critique is too harsh a lot of times and it's not treating it fairly as a game because they are an indie studio. But just because you have the title indie studio doesn't mean your individuals in the studio have that title. Like, that's what I want to know. That's what I want to know, folks. Do you agree? Do you disagree? Do you think Yooka-Laylee is the best thing ever and should be praised with all glory, laud, and honor? Or do you think, hey, Yooka-Laylee should have come out like 5 years ago if you wanted to make this type of game? Or you should have put it longer in development? All in my opinion, my distinct what I think should have happened with Yooka-Laylee that would have made it a bunch better is gone through the same amount of development time that A Hat in Time went through, with the same amount of alpha and beta phasing that A Hat in Time had. Because A Hat in Time doesn't have weird control issues. Now, they are doing a lot less. There's not as many controls and moves and stuff. And I think there were better ways to do some things. But I think what comes down to is user feedback in the actual game. I think there should have been a huge beta testing period with all the controls and stuff, and not just a minuscule toy box experience that get like, oh, this is kind of what the game is going to be like. Because yeah, that's kind of what the game was going to be like, but it had none of the same game it had the most minimum of game mechanics. It didn't have all the extra stuff and everything. Maybe not the molecule elements, like those didn't need the beta, but like with all some of the moves and the swimming controls and stuff, which were in the beta, and I did complain about those then, probably. I don't know, I at least thought they were weird. Like, I think what this game comes down to is there were development. I think it was rush development. I think that's what it was a rush development, because if it was a small, like, it is a small team that did it, and I think they should have just postponed the game and be like, never mind, we're going to release in like a year or so and go through like maybe a 4-month or something month beta phase for all a certain like backers on Kickstarter and everything. And I think that would have been better. And that may have been what it is. I don't remember off the top of my head because I didn't back that tier. But like, I just never heard the beta talked about as much as I heard the A Hat in Time beta talked about. So that could be, I could be wrong. But I think what the biggest fault of the game and the game mechanics would have been solved with a deeper look at the development, or a more in-depth look, a user look at the development, and a user look at the game mechanics that would have happened in the development phase. And I think, in all honesty, I think would have solved a lot of the issues I have with the game as a casual person that has never played a Banjo-Kazooie or any sort of game before, I think that's would have helped a lot. So, like, just that's where I'm finding the issues. I think that's where I'm finding the most issues. Also, why aren't there these trees all over the place? Like, they're only in this area here. They're not anywhere else. Like, I need to go see how much the expand is, because apparently I'm not done talking yet. I started my outro, but... So, I want to know your thoughts. I want to know if you've played Yooka-Laylee. If you have any interest in the platformers. If you played Banjo-Kazooie or such as a kid, because I want to know your thoughts of whether Yooka-Laylee deserves all the criticism or praise it gets, or if it's being critiqued too harshly, or if it's not, and it just should be... How many do I need to expand it? Hello. I need 15, so I need 8 more. So I'm gonna... Oh, gosh, really? Every time. I will be backtracking. I'm gonna start at the first worlds, though, because it's been so long since we went to those. Oh, yeah, there's that stupid mushroom in that one level. But, yeah. And the next one I'll definitely be backtracking, because there's nothing else to do in that world. Not that I can see. If there's also anything else to do in that world, please let me know. But, like, there just doesn't seem like there's anything else to do in that world, and that is kind of silly to me. What? How do I get you? How do I get you? I'm confuzzled. But yeah, so those are my thoughts. Yes, Yooka-Laylee is done by an indie studio. But Yooka-Laylee has people that very prominently put on their website about our team and that we've done all these other games before. So maybe you shouldn't have had the about the team page Playtonic Games. Maybe that would have made things a little bit better. But then once again, you wouldn't have got all the hype and praise and everything that this did. So, I be Sarah Rochelle. I'm actually going to end the video this time. I've been playing Yooka-Laylee, and thanks for watching, peeps.